You're despicable. You have zero business running this country. And I pray to God, Americans, wake the hell up and get your ass out of office. You have spit in our face for the last fucking time.
It's your boy Laylo, and you have now reached the Laylo Show. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I've been on hiatus for a minute, as you know, but I'm back now, and I'm going to be dropping some content back to back. Today, we're going to talk about this Kamala Harris and beef between Kamala Harris camp and the Donald Trump camp. I wouldn't call it a beef, but it is election year, so it's a whole lot of back and forth. So apparently, Donald Trump was invited to a cemetery ceremony for some soldiers that were unalived in Afghanistan a few years ago. And we're going to get into the details right now, but let's just go ahead and kick it off with a video from news, for the news to see, let's just get it started, see what they were talking about.
Day. NBC's Ali Vitale is at the White House with more. Ali, good morning.
Willie, good morning. A solemn Sunday as the remains of those fallen U.S. service members make their way back to the United States, arriving at Dover Air Force Base this morning. There, a dignified transfer for the 13 U.S. troops killed in Kabul this week, most of them children when the war in Afghanistan began nearly 2 decades ago. It's a somber event, receiving the bodies and comforting the families. President Biden is on his way to attend today's transfer and spend time with the families of the fallen. As a military father himself and as someone who also lost a child, he's likely to bring a personal perspective to these families' grief. This will be Biden's first time as the military's commander-in-chief, but he last attended a transfer as vice president back in November 2016. Yet even as he mourns the fallen, evacuation efforts on the ground are still underway, days before that August 31st deadline for troops. And after a U.S. drone strike that took out 2 ISIS-K fighters yesterday, the president warning this strike was not the last.
Okay, so it was 13 U.S. service members that were unalived during that suicidal boom thing, and I don't want to continue without saying their names. Okay, so my dad was in the military. He served in Vietnam a number of years. My uncle, for a fact, I know he was in Desert Storm. So I'm real familiar with the military connection and the heartfelt, passion that happens when they lose someone, in the fold or whatever. So yeah, let's go through some of the people that were unalived during that time. Okay. So right here we have, this is Sergeant Jahani Rahazio Pichardo. She's a Naval Amphibious Force, Task Force 51. I hope I didn't butcher her name. But yeah, there she is right there. Rest in peace to her. Here right here in the middle, we have a Marine Corps Corporal, Nicole G. Right here, rest in peace to her. Marine Staff Sergeant Darren Hoover of Salt Lake City, rest in peace to him. Hunter Lopez of Indio, California, rest in peace to him. 2nd Battalion. Marine Corporal Dejan Page of Omaha, Nebraska. I hope I said that right. Rest in peace to Marine Corporal Humberto Sanchez of Logansport, Indiana. Marine Lance Corporal David Espinoza of Rio Bravo, Texas. You notice what I'm noticing? I don't mean to stop here, but there's a lot of foreigners, I want to say, that are in the American forces overseas. Marine Lance Corporal Gerard Smits of St. Charles, Missouri. I hope I'm not butchering these names, but these are some names I have never seen. Sorry about that. Marine Lance Corporal Riley McCollum of Jackson, Wyoming. And Marine Lance Corporal Dylan Morallo of Rancho Cucamonga, California. Wow, they got a Marine Lance Corporal Kareem Nikai of Norco, California. If I'm saying it wrong, please correct me in the comments. Max Soviak, Kabul Nas, SSG Ryan, Army Staff Sergeant Ryan C. Nas, 23 years old. So yeah, those are the 13. They call them the Golden Star 13, I think. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Nose 13. They call them the 8 Gold Star families, or 13 star families. But anyway, so yeah, that happened in 2021 over in Afghanistan. It was a suicidal bombing that happened, and Trump went out to the Arlington National Cemetery to visit them. And I think I have a video of him actually doing that. Arlington Cemetery. I think I have a video of him actually doing that. Yeah, here it is right here.
Tonight, the controversy over former President Trump's visit to Arlington National Cemetery has reignited. Vice President Harris slamming him for disrespecting sacred ground, all for the sake of a political stunt. She's calling the cemetery a solemn place and not a place for politics.
We lost 13 great people.
It's her first time weighing in after the Trump campaign posted this highlight video on TikTok showing the former president laying a wreath in honor of the service members killed during the chaotic military withdrawal from Afghanistan. A cemetery spokesperson said federal law prohibits campaign-related activities there.
Mr. President, what do you think of President Trump's behavior at Arlington Cemetery with the visit to the fallen soldiers?
I don't want to answer things. I may tell you what I think.
On social media overnight, former President Trump posted a series of videos from Gold Star families criticizing the Biden administration.
You have been nothing but disrespectful to me and the families of the 13.
We invited President Trump. We are the ones that asked for the video.
And by the way, don't go nowhere because we are going to actually watch these videos of all of these people. So don't go nowhere.
And the pictures to be taken.
Even though the U.S. troop withdrawal from Afghanistan was negotiated with the Taliban during the Trump administration, the former president blames the Biden White House for its poor execution.
Joe Biden killed those young people because he was incompetent. And then they tell me that I used their graves for public relations services, and I didn't.
In an interview with NBC News last week, Trump insisted he knew nothing about the video that was shared on TikTok and said the Gold Star families had invited him.
You know who the families also invited? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Where were they? Joe Biden was sitting at a beach. Kamala Harris was sitting at her mansion in Washington, D.C.
A White House official and the Harris aide deny the president or vice president were ever invited.
Gabe is joining us now from outside the White House. And Gabe, this is all happening as we round the corner to the final 2 months before Election Day.
So, yeah, there was as you see, there was a whole bunch of back and forth about it. But apparently, I did a little research, and apparently Trump was actually invited out there. So let's listen to Trump's response real quick.
And they say I was campaigning. I don't need, the one thing I get is plenty of publicity. I don't need that.
Former President Trump defends his visit to Arlington National Cemetery this week as an act of patriotism, not politics.
And while we were there, they said, could you take pictures over the grave of my son, my sister, my brother? Would you take pictures with us, sir? I said, absolutely, I did. We didn't lose one person in 18 months.
The former president addressed the incident for the first time Thursday. He was invited to pay his respects by the Gold Star families of the 13 service members killed at Abbey Gate on the anniversary of the withdrawal from Afghanistan. The families also approved the attendance of the former president's photographer and videographer.
President!
But Army National Military Cemeteries have official rules forbidding political campaign-related videography. A staffer reportedly tried to prevent Trump's cameras from entering Section 60, the burial ground for recently fallen service members. The Trump campaign said the cemetery employee was suffering from a mental health episode. But tonight, the Army is refuting that in a rare statement. The Army says someone from Trump's team abruptly pushed the cemetery employee aside when she tried to enforce the rules, adding she acted with professionalism, and the incident is unfortunate. And since she's not pressing charges, the Army considers this matter closed. Thursday, a Pentagon spokesperson clarified.
The rules are very, very clear.
She continued, quote, "We support what the Army said."
There are nearly, I think it's like 3,000 public ceremonies that are conducted at Arlington National Cemetery every single year without incident.
Veterans have since come out in support of the former president, saying they appreciate his attendance, while others said his staff should have followed the rules and left the cameras behind.
So, yeah. So all of that went on, right? And then next up, we have Miss Kamala Harris, who this is her Twitter. Oh, she left it up too. This post has over 90 million views, right? And it says, I don't know if I should read it. Should I read this? Yeah, I'm going to read it. As vice president, I have had the privilege of visiting Arlington National Cemetery several times. It is a solemn place, a place where we come together to honor American heroes who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service of this nation. It is not a place for politics. And yet, as we reported this week, Donald Trump's team chose to film a video there, resulting in an altercation with cemetery staff. Let me be clear, the former president disrespected sacred ground, all for the sake of a political stunt. This is nothing new from Donald Trump. This is a man who has called out fallen service members suckers and losers and disparaged Medal of Honor recipients. He's never done that, but whatever. This is a man who is unable to comprehend anything other than service to himself. If there is one thing on which we as Americans can all agree, it is that our veterans, military families, and service members should be honored, never disparaged, and treated with nothing less than our highest respect and gratitude. And it is my belief that someone who cannot meet this simple sacred duty should never again stand behind the seal of a president of the United States of America. I will always honor the service and sacrifice of all America's fallen heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice on behalf of our beloved nation and our cherished freedoms. I mourn them and salute them, and I will never politicize them. That was my first time reading it, but I heard about it, I just never read it. Now, like I said, it had 90 million views, and it was posted the other day. As you see, 48,000 comments, 136,000 likes. But the comment section, man, listen. You are repeating a dangerous lie that has been refuted by dozens of people and were there with Trump. Trump did not call anyone suckers and losers. I told you that. Kamala's campaign is fulfilled with pathological liars. And it just goes on and on and on and on. Listen, what are you doing? Is a slap in the face of the Gold Star families. These are the videos. We're going to watch these videos now. You were campaigning, Biden was relaxing on the beach, and Trump accepting the invitation from the families who lost their children because of your incompetence. But Trump is the problem. Like, I went through all of these. I'm looking for positive feedback. And this is a disgusting statement, and you owe the Gold Star families of President Trump an apology. You should speak for us. You don't speak for us, combat veterans, nor do combat veterans support you. You have a stolen valor piece of shit running with you. Fuck all the way off. I mean, the veterans are going in. I'm talking about it doesn't stop. 2007, Trump talks about inviting injured soldiers to his house. What is it?
And lives. You know, nobody talks about the soldiers that are coming back with no arms and no legs. And I saw at Mar-a-Lago on Mondays, I make Mar-a-Lago my club that you know about.
In Palm Beach.
I make that twice now. On a Monday, I let returning Iraqi injured soldiers come to the premises. The most beautiful people I've ever seen. But they're missing arms and legs. They're with their wives. Sometimes they're with their girlfriends. And the tears are coming down the faces of these people. I mean, the thousands and maybe hundreds.
Y'all see whose page it on, go follow them or whatever. Check it out. Biden Harris have never once reached out to the Gold Star family members of the fallen 13 service members, they say. So, it just goes on and on. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Last person in the room. It doesn't stop. It keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. So, let's get into the video or the videos of the families of the 13 members. Okay? Let's get into that, why don't we? Because this is, I think it's important. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it's important, especially during this time. And I'm going to be honest, Kamala, I think you fucked up. And I know you didn't make the post. I know your staff put it together. But still, it's just... Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and play the video. And I'm going to get out of the picture and let y'all watch it. It's about 17 minutes long. But it's worth the watch. Make sure you like, subscribe. Hey, listen. Hey, hit the notification button. Like, subscribe, comment. I'm trying to get these algorithms back up, But we're going to watch these videos. They're about, like I said, it's about 17 minutes long. And I'm gonna get out of the picture for you so you can watch these videos. Let's go. It is the Laylo Show.
This is Mark Schmitz, Gold Star father of Marine Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz. Here we are on a beautiful holiday weekend day. I got to stop what I'm doing, spending time with what's left of my family, to address a heinous, vile, and disgusting post put out by Kamala Harris, trying to incite those that don't follow the truth that President Trump was in Arlington as a political stunt. Shows you how much you know about the 13 families. We invited him to be there. Groundwork was put into place by Congressman Ice's office to make sure we followed protocol. Why did we want Trump there? It wasn't to help his political campaign. We wanted a leader. That explains why you and Joe didn't get a call. Imagine for a second that your kid is killed, and there's a president of the United States willing to take you under his wing and listen to you. That's what we found in President Trump. Certainly not you, and certainly not Joe Biden. You have 13 families who have been waiting over 3 years to so much as get a phone call, to so much as hear our kids' names said aloud in the halls of Congress, at a State of the Union, hell, anything. The irony behind your post that you give a rat's ass about our military or our veterans, Jared's brothers and sisters in arms, the rest of the 12, their brothers and sisters in arms, is an outright lie. We're living proof of that. You're despicable. You have zero business running this country. And I pray to God, Americans, wake the hell up and get your ass out of office. You have spit in our face for the last fucking time.
Kamala, your statement is nothing more than a political spin to help you look better in your presidential campaign against Donald Trump. You have never walked a single day in our shoes. Our kids were murdered because of your administration, and you are partly to blame for that as well. What happened at Arlington was President Trump was invited by those families who have their soldiers buried at Arlington. They were invited there as a friend, as somebody who has taken the time numerous times on numerous occasions to hear our stories, to speak our kids' names, and to help us get some accountability from your administration, because in over 3 years, we have gotten nothing but more and more lies. Just like your statement, more and more spun lies and cover-ups to make you and your administration look good. But there is one thing that you said in your statement that was true. No one should be running for president if they cannot honor military members, their families, as well as veterans. So I guess that means that you should step down, Kamala.
My name is Coral Dulero. I am Corporal Humberto Sanchez's mother. This is my statement of what happened on August 26, 2024. My son is not buried in Arlington, but I really feel like when President Trump went and paid tribute and pay his respect in Arlington for our kids, it was not just the ones buried in there. It was for all of our kids, and it was an invitation that the families actually extend to him, and it's not the first time that he actually meet with us and share time and with our families. After 3 years until now, Kamala Harris and President Biden didn't even say their 13 names. They called the withdrawal in Afghanistan a success, and for us it was just sadness and a disgrace. They are the responsible persons of murdering our kids, and until these days they did not give us a meeting. They did not accept to meet with us and give us an explanation of what happened. Being him the commander-in-chief, he definitely left our kids behind, and just to fill the agenda of his prior commitments. I invite Kamala Harris and Joe Biden to accept the meeting with us and meet with us and explain us what was the whole deal behind the withdrawal in Afghanistan. I think that as a parents, we deserve a explanation, and we deserve the truth of what happened with our kids that day.
Vice President Harris, my name is Steve Nakui. I'm the father of Lance Corporal Kareem M. Nakui. And your administration killed my son, deliberately in exchange for political theatrics so you could have a final day of the evacuation coincide with September 11th. ignoring the advice of your generals, the Doha Agreement, and countless other veterans and members of Congress, denying the safety of the Afghans and the servicemen and women. Your choice to play politics in 2021 killed 170 Afghans, 13 U.S. service members, and wounded 45 of our service members, as well as countless Afghans. You were not at Dover for the dignified transfer. At no time have you reached out to me to offer your condolences, to offer thank you for Kareem's sacrifice and service. Not once have you honored him by saying his name, so I said it for you. You have disparaged all 13 who have lost their lives as well as their families, exhibiting your lack of gratitude by your silence. I agree with you on one thing, that a person like you should never and will never stand behind the seal of presidency. You are a DEI vice president, and contrary to our kids, the worst that America has to offer. I will pray for you, that God has mercy on your soul.
Vice President Harris, my name is Christy Shamblin. My daughter-in-law, Sergeant Nicole Leanne G., was killed in the Afghanistan exit at Abbey Gate on August 26, 2021. This year, for the 3rd year anniversary of her murder, we welcome President Donald J. Trump to Arlington to lay a wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier with our family and to visit Nicole graveside. President Trump and his team were respectful. They listened to our stories and didn't talk much at all. We welcomed them that day and they were comfort to our family. Vice President Harris, I ask you, why won't you return a call and explain to us how you call my daughter-in-law's death a success? Vice President Harris, why will you not express your condolences yourself? Why have we never heard from you? And finally, why would you take a day where we celebrated the death of our loved one and use it to disparage not only them, but us? President Trump has called. President Trump shows up. And President Trump takes the time to hear our loved ones' stories. Why won't you do the same?
Vice President Harris, my name is Jim McCollum. I am the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Lance Corporal Riley McCollum, killed in Afghanistan, August 26, 2021. Your recent remarks related to Trump's visit to Arlington are filled with nothing but lies and deceit. How do you sleep at night knowing it was you, this administration, you and Biden, you being the last one in the room, are responsible for the death of our 13 kids? You have failed for 3 years and 8 months to acknowledge our kids, to acknowledge me. You don't know me. You've never spoken to me. You've never reached out to me. You have failed in your duties as vice president. You have been nothing but disrespectful to me and the families of the 13. Yet you're claiming that you will always be respectful and show respect for our fallen. You've been absent for 3 years and 8 months. You've proven that you're not capable to do the job that you have, let alone the job that you seek. You know nothing about honor, courage, commitment, respect, but President Trump does. President Trump has been there for us. He's been a rock for us. He showed compassion for us, and he showed he truly cares for the families that truly do know what the ultimate sacrifice really is. You have the day you deserve.
Good afternoon. My name is Herman Lopez. I'm a Gold Star father. My son, Corporal Hunter Lopez, was a U.S. Marine killed in action on August 26, 2021. This message is intended for Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm not a person who usually takes to social media, but earlier today, your post regarding the incident at Arlington National Cemetery was brought to my attention. After reading it, it caused a reaction with me. You indicated in your post that you support the military and military families. I, for one, have not seen that support. It's been 3 years since my son was killed in action, and myself, my family, and other Gold Star families have not seen any support from you or your administration. You may make hollow promises about the economy or anything else you'd like to make promises about. But one thing that I ask of you, and the reason I'm making this message, is for you to stop making comments about your support for the military. As a Gold Star father, I know that you have not supported us. I know that you have not supported other Gold Star families. Please stop making these types of comments because that support has not been demonstrated. Your words are hollow and empty. My other request is that for the American public to know that these messages, these promises from Kamala Harris, especially in regard to supporting the military and our military families, are false and baseless. They have not been proven, and she has not earned our respect. Thank you very much.
My name is Darren Hoover, and I'm the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover. Kamala, I want you to understand, and I know it will be difficult for you because you lack empathy and basic understanding. The events that happened on August 26, 2024, with President Trump at Arlington National Cemetery were solemn and in keeping with the reverence and respect that is given to all members of our military that are buried there. We invited President Trump. We are the ones that asked for the video and the pictures to be taken at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. This was a very solemn wreath laying in our son's name, along with the Sergeant Nicole G family, as well as two of our catastrophically injured military members that were there on that horrific day in the honor of our Abbey Gate 13. We then moved to the gravesite where our children are buried. Again, we asked the Trump team to take the videos, take the pictures of our time there. President Trump then laid a wreath at the grave side of Army Staff Sergeant Ryan Christian Knaus. There he talked to both his mother and father. President Trump then moved to our son's grave where we were surrounded by our family and friends, where we talked about Taylor and his sacrifice to this country. Let me be clear. There was no politics discussed, none whatsoever. There was also not an assault that we observed take place, or did we hear it? I don't know where this is coming from, but it's disgusting and gross. President Trump has been there for us from the very beginning, when our son and the other 12 of his brothers and sisters in arms were murdered due to your negligence and uncaring attitude towards our military. Don't forget, Kamala, you were the last one in the room. You and Joe Biden made the final decision on how to pull out of Afghanistan. You created the chaos and mayhem for the military to accomplish their goals. Our sons and daughters made the best of a difficult situation, as they had been trained to do. They adapted and overcame all of that and came out as heroes, something that you will never know or understand. Kamala, we have been treated with the utmost respect, compassion, and understanding by President Trump, something you and Joe Biden have refused to do since August 26, 2021. Where were you and Joe Biden on August 26, 2024? Nowhere near Arlington Cemetery. You couldn't be bothered to be with us or even say our kids' names, just as you had done for the last 3 years. Neither one of you have called to speak with us or share in our grief. I wonder, Kamala, do you sleep at night securely in your bed? Or do you have nightmares of our kids because it was your incompetence and negligence that got our kids murdered? It is you who sends out messages on social media that are outright lies. It is you that has disrespected our families. It is you who knows nothing about service and sacrifice. It is you that has divided this country, and it is you who is unfit to be the commander-in-chief. These are the only memories we get to make with our son, and it is you who is playing politics and trying to detract from our memories made that day. You should be ashamed and embarrassed at your lack of empathy and decency as a human being. You are only in this for the power and prestige. You don't care for our military or the citizens of this country. You should hang your head in shame at your actions or lack thereof. You need to move aside, get out of the way, and stop hindering the progress, growth, and independence of this great nation.
There we go. I'm sorry about that. I was on the phone. But yeah, you seen it. You heard it here first. Oh. All right, so yeah. Anyway, so let's get back to it. I got to throw it off a little bit. It looks like y'all heard me too, but that's okay. I was on the phone locking in some business, as you probably heard. If you didn't, cool for me. But yeah, that is a real bad situation for Kamala. This may be devastating for her camp. I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you think? But I do believe that situation will put her camp in some straits, because that's a. I mean, I when I read the X post, I didn't feel what the veterans feel, and that's because I'm not a veteran. I'm actually a ex-felon, so my thought process might be a little different, but I do have sympathy for veterans and soldiers, military forces that are unalived, especially during times of war. Like I said, my father, he was a military vet, and my uncle was a military vet. I have several other military vets in my family, and of course a lot of friends that are military vet as well, a lot of business partners that I work with on a regular basis. And so, like I said, I do have the sympathy for them, but after reading those comments under her post, hey man, woo! Anyway, I'm gonna show this last video before I get out of here, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification button. Check out the ticket below. Your boy needs some donations. Help me out with a lot of things, because I do this for a living, man. So I can give you more content on a regular basis. And, yeah. So let's check out this last video that I found on X. I got to stop saying Twitter. But I found it on X, okay? Check it out.
Vice President Harris.
Vice President Harris.
Vice President Harris, my name is Steve Nakui. I'm the father of Lance Corporal Kareem M. Nakui.
My name is Jim McCollum. I am the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Lance Corporal Riley McCollum.
This is Mark Schmitz, Gold Star father of Marine Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz.
My name is Darren Hoover, and I'm the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover.
My daughter-in-law, Sergeant Nicole Leanne G., was killed in the Afghanistan exit at Abbey Gate.
Our kids were murdered because of your administration.
You were not at Dover for the dignified transfer. And no time have you reached out to me to offer your condolences, to offer thank you for Kareem's sacrifice and service.
You have 13 families who have been waiting over 3 years to so much as get a phone call, to so much as hear our kids' names said aloud.
You failed for 3 years and 8 months to acknowledge our kids.
Where were you and Joe Biden on August 26, 2024? Nowhere near Arlington Cemetery. You couldn't be bothered to be with us or even say our kids' names, just as you had done for the last 3 years.
Vice President Harris, I ask you, why won't you return a call and explain to us how you call my daughter-in-law's death a success? President Trump has called. President Trump shows up. President Trump takes the time to hear our loved ones' stories.
We invited him to be there.
These are the only memories we get to make with our son, and it is you who is playing politics and trying to detract from our memories made that day.
President Trump has been there for us. He's been a rock for us. He showed compassion for us, and he showed he truly cares for the families that truly do know what the ultimate sacrifice really is.
There you have it. It's the Lalo Show. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, comment, hit the notification button. I got some more content coming to you. And I'm out. It's the Lalo Show.